And check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond. While trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your host, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, boys and girls, what's going on? Back with you guys for this double dose here, man. This is our second dose right now. You're getting another dose of the RCWR show this Sunday, August 31st of 2025, minutes removed from WWE Clash in Paris, the final WWE PLE or at least the PLE obligation for the Peacock, as next month a new era in media consumption begins, as next month, which is literally right around the corner, but we'll have to wait a couple of weeks. WWE's very first event will be under their new partnership with ESPN, WrestlePalooza. You guys hyped for that? You excited, huh? Sound off. Let me know what you think. Also, most importantly, definitely let me know what you thought about tonight's WWE Clash event. Hop on in the chat. Throw in those comments. I got a poll up. We're keeping it simple. I'm just going to go on ahead and let there be one poll up on Twitter at the RCWR show. So if you got your Twitter, you got your X, hop on that bad boy and let me know what's going on, what your thoughts are about it. And yeah, all right, so let's go ahead and let's jump right into this bad boy. I did not watch any of the pre-show action, so I didn't see anything that was going on with the usual suspects hosting it. So if there was something noteworthy that you guys maybe want to point out to me and the rest of the crowd, please let us know. Hopefully you guys are doing okay with your Labor Day weekend so far. You've made your travels safely, you with your loved ones, and you're getting ready to get that cook on, all that good stuff. You know, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. And then, of course, some of you guys might just be kicking back and relaxing. Yeah. Now, if you guys caught me saying double dose, well, earlier this morning, because I totally messed up on the times and everything, I was under the impression Clash in Paris was going to be coming on as a evening PLE. I thought it was going to be around 7, 8 o'clock at night. Not the case at all. And so we had to adjust when it came to sitting down, me and the missus doing wrestling with the topic. So we actually sat down and recorded that earlier this morning. So you may have gotten a notification. But then again, maybe your first time hearing that. So if you didn't check out Wrestling with the Topics, I've now got that available on demand and wherever you get your podcast. So definitely feel free to go on ahead, check it out. Look, overall, pretty solid event. I got to say to you, though, after about, I would say, honestly, 10 minutes of that Paris crowd, I just got, I got nauseated to the stomach, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I just couldn't stand it with all the damn chants that was just all throughout. It felt more like these guys were trying to get themselves over as opposed to putting over the talent. Although I will say, their love, their appreciation, their admiration for Roman Reigns, man, you talk about polarizing. You talk about captivating. I've never, in all my years of watching Roman Reigns, his rise and just everything that the man has been through, I have never seen a reaction to Roman Reigns quite like what I experienced watching Clash. Just, I was blown away. Truly a moment that you need to go out of your way. You need to at least see that reaction to Roman Reigns, because that was just so, whoa, what the hell? I mean, I felt like, wait a minute, are we sure this is Roman Reigns, or did Lady Gaga come to the scene or something? Has Oasis just made a drive by? Well, what's going on here? I mean, it was on another level. Let me tell you, I appreciated the energy from the crowd. I mean, I'm always down with that. I'm always down for a lively crowd. You should be hyped up, all of that. But after a while, it just felt more like these guys were just trying to put themselves over, and I just wasn't a fan of that whatsoever. But as far as some of that in-ring action went on tonight's card, good. Opening things up, Bronson Reed, Roman Reigns, one-on-one. Holy shit. Man, great effort by both men. For me, this was definitely, of the entire night and of my favorite matches, this definitely ranks number one in my book. If you are a fan of Bronson Reed, Big Bronson Reed, you did not watch this event yet, you will be very proud when you hear me get ready to say the following. It's going to put a really big old smile on your face, which is, to date, this match is one of the best single match performances from Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed really took it to another level, and it's matching up very well with what I've been saying about Bronson Reed these past several weeks, couple of months now, which has been, he has really started finding his pacing. He's really finding his groove now, and and all you can do at that point is just keep feeding the beast. You don't want to derail that for any reason. You don't want for Bronson to take a step back. No. Now that he's showing you that he's finally able to piece it all together, you want to keep building upon it. Keep adding on to it and everything. And WWE, to their credit, they have been doing exactly that. And I told you guys months back, when this whole stable initially was formed, and I said you can do no wrong at all by having Bronson and Breaker aligned there with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. That diamond in the coal, yeah, it's definitely gonna be. They're gonna turn into that diamond, going from that coal to that diamond. You just got to give it some time. And Bronson really, really shined. And it's, even despite the fact that this was a losing effort there for Bronson Reed, was very impressed with the amount of offense that he got in here. I know some people may question the deliberate pacing of this match. I actually was fine for it. I love the fact that initially it was starting off as a test of strength, at least for Bronson Reed, and very quickly Roman Reigns kind of turned that around, and rightfully so, because it was almost like Roman Reigns said, okay, I can't quite get to this guy the way I want to when it comes to strength, because we're almost at a stalemate. So rather than keep doing the test of power, I'm just gonna have to come at him fast with the strikes and everything. And I know I was very critical of Bronson Reed a couple of weeks ago when I said something along the lines of, look, as big as this dude is, he really should not be leaving his feet like that. Like, just because you can do all these crazy ass moves doesn't mean you should be doing it. Okay? The tsunami, when he goes up to that top rope, okay, you know it is freaking devastation time. And you know, the way that WWE has been grounding him a little bit more now, they still have Bronson Reed doing those suicide dives between the ropes. I'm really not a fan of that. I really wish we could just eliminate that as well. But if he's doing it only one time, and he's doing it sporadically, like pretty much what he did here tonight, you know, I can actually live with that and everything, right? I can live with that. But compelling story told in the ring there. Let's go to the final moments of this matchup. Really, really set it up for you guys and everything. So Roman Reigns rallying up the crowd, trying to get ready for another spear. Reed counters with a kick, and he clotheslines Roman out of the ring, follows it up with that suicide dive that I was mentioning, kind of teasing a little bit earlier. Eventually, the boys take the action on back into the ring. Reed pulls himself up to the top rope, misses a tsunami as dude started hitting nothing but canvas after that. Roman tries lining up another spear. Reed catches it, connects with a beautiful sit-out power bomb, gets him a near fall. Reed then tries going for another tsunami, but Roman stops that one from the top rope. Roman climbs up. Reed tries to get in a suplex. Bad spot right there as Roman manages to counter it, ultimately setting up a Superman punch, following it up with an avalanche Samoan drop. Boom, finally connects with the spear. That pretty much did the deal right then and there. So Roman then focusing his attention on Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman letting them know that he is still his tribal chief and he respects him and worships him and everything. Roman wasn't trying to hear all that. So Heyman decides it's the shoes. It's got to be the shoes. I kind of did a little bit of a teaser too with the way we did the thumbnail for our Monday show, which was essentially titled All About the Shoes. Well, Heyman kind of had the right idea. He coughed up the shoes that Bronson Reed hijacked from weeks back as a peace offering to Roman. Roman accepted it. Seemed as though everything was on the up and up good. Then Roman grabs Heyman, gets him in a rear naked choke. Pretty much makes Heyman pass the hell out. Roman goes over to the announce table and starts celebrating. He actually asks for a Sharpie, which Michael Cole hands him one, starts autographing each of the shoes, and he's throwing them into the crowd. He manages to get off three when all of a sudden he catches out the corner of his eye, and at the very last second, Braun Breaker, who just comes from out of nowhere and spears his ass into next week. I mean, what a job Braun Breaker did on him, man. Now, some people may feel that what was happening here with this assault on Roman was overkill like a mofo. No, you know what? Considering some of the stuff that might be going on with Roman behind the scenes, as far as any filming projects, obligations, and all that, the way they laid this out, if you were to say to me come Monday Night Raw that Roman Reigns is out for the foreseeable future or he's out indefinitely, something along those lines, I would say, oh yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not really surprised at that. That's fine. But man, Braun Breaker, serious number on the big dog there, on the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Love the way that this beatdown came about. Bronson Reed eventually got his comeuppings as well. I do feel it was a tad bit overkill in this particular segment. I felt it went on. Oh, excuse me. I felt it went on just a little too long. It was taking way, way too long what they were setting up here. They really should have been in and out. They really should have. I personally would have preferred it if, and they took their dare sweet time eventually having Adam Pierce come out. I'm playing it all back in my head. Nah, Adam Pierce should have been out there almost immediately, and he should have just been flagging and verbally saying, "Give me any and everybody security. Give me some superstars. Like everybody, bang your asses on down here." And at least that way, if you would have done a combination of having security come out there, and you would have had a touch of the roster coming out, those would have been some really great instant Acme feuds for future weeks worth of Raw episodes that division you could have had them go through and everything. You feel me? So yeah, they just kind of messed that whole thing up and everything. But yeah, this was like at least I felt like an eternity. This felt like it was at least 15 minutes, maybe close to 20 minutes that we were watching post match. Post match, I saw a couple of people jump out there and they said something along the lines of, "My God, yeah, it's been like over 50 minutes now. Let's move it along. Let's go on to something else here. Like this is getting really ridiculous." And I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly because the match itself, the runtime of the match itself, and this is the most important thing that we need to highlight here. As far as the match itself, the official runtime for it was 22 minutes and 5 seconds. So yeah, was that shit that went down post match way too excessive? Yes, without a doubt, without a doubt. But they were trying to milk this for all it's worth. We know what time it is. We know what they're trying to do when it comes to these PLEs and everything. They're trying to stretch it out and all that. Right? It is what it is. Still, despite some of those hiccups, definitely my favorite match of the night. Moving on, Wyatt 6, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis successfully defended the tag team titles against the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, 13 minutes and 10 seconds. Of course, a little bit of interference there from Nikki Cross and Uncle Howdy, and helping the Wyatt 6 retain the tag titles. For what it was worth, nice little match. Uh, definitely I like how look, it didn't get the fans cold by any means. The crowd was very, very into this tag match, or more so, into getting themselves over. Definitely pretty obvious in this one and everything. Wyatt's continuing to retain the titles. I'm not against it. So as long as WWE continues to have plans for the Wyatt Six, and it seems like that is definitely the intention and everything, I'm okay with the Wyatts also retaining because if this means that you're adding more tension between the Profits, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford, and possibly that split, then I'm definitely okay with that. I mean, at this point, it really does feel as though the split is inevitable for these guys, but I am all about long term storytelling. So, learn a thing or two, as well as mistakes that was made with the New Day, for example. And, try to do your best to make sure with regards to those mistakes, you don't make them again and everything. I'm really appreciating that one line in particular that Bo Dallas had dropped to Street Profits on Friday Night SmackDown. For anybody that had watched that, almost a prelude of things to come. That's why it feels like more than ever, we really could be seeing the end there of the Street Profits and all that. But nice match. Um, it was good. It was good. It was good for what it was worth. Almost a SmackDown match to a certain extent, but no, it was okay for what it was worth. Third match, Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch retaining over Nikki Bella by pinfall, 13 minutes and about 10 seconds, give or take, with this one. Probably, honestly, the worst match of the entire card. Look, no fault to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch knows how to work with the best of them. She can bring out the best in anybody. Okay? Homegirl knows what she's doing. But this was not the match. This was not the match. And the best part for you Becky Lynch fans, it was not Becky Lynch's fault at all. This is not a personal attack. So, Bella Nation, don't take it personal. But Nikki looked as though she had no business being in that ring. She looked rusty as I don't know what, man. That offense was just all over the place. It definitely was not complimentary to what Becky Lynch brought into it, and everything. It's just this is a perfect example of did you do your homework? Okay, remember you got this exam. You got this exam coming up in about 5 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now. So study, 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 study. And Becky Lynch, she showed up. She did what she needed to do. All right, she got herself an A. Nikki Bella, half-assing, doing whatever, God knows what, and she shows up and takes the damn exam, and she got a C minus. You know, hell a D. She got a D. That's obviously not a passing grade, right? This was really really bad. Add into the fact that with this crowd, the crowd actually cheered for Becky Lynch. Remember, Becky Lynch is supposed to be the bad guy here. Becky Lynch is supposed to be the bad guy here, and yet she was cheered by the crowd. That is not what you wanted to have happen in this match. This was just add that on top of what was going. And look, I don't know if Triple H and them, whoever was in charge, I don't know if Triple H was maybe asking around. So what do we think? What are we thinking as far as where Nikki Bella is ring wise? Like what's up? How we all feeling? Can we run with this for a couple of programs? Like, what do you think? Like, nah, we need to move on from this as quick as possible. That was the vibe I had got from this. And you know why I was left with that vibe? Because the way Becky Lynch won. So you pick it up towards the end, and Nikki Bella managed to avoid a manhandle slam, and in the process sent Becky Lynch into the ring post, hits the Bella Buster onto the steps. That actually was a nice little sweet spot. I'll definitely give it that. That was actually a nice little spot. Action goes back into the ring. Becky avoids the rack attack. Nikki hits a manhandle slam, gets her a near fall. From there, Nikki tries going for a disarmer, but then Becky slips free of it, grabs a little bit of Nikki's backside, gets the 3 count. And this wasn't one of those, oh man, she's got a shit ton of undies, tights, like, okay, that's it. Nah, it was pretty much backslide pin. So basically a clean pin, 1, 2, 3, and that pretty much was the end of it. So as far as Nikki Bella and Becky running this back, does not come off as that whatsoever. Thank God, good riddance. Now that I've said what I've said in regards to this match, veteran WWE fans, and I'm going to beat you guys to the punch before you even jump out there. Y'all going to be like, well, wait a minute, Lee. Wait a minute, Lee. Since when did exactly Nikki Bella has been known for really great, superb matches? And I say to that, touche, pussycat, touche. No, seriously, I, I never want to see Nikki Bella wrestle again. There is a reason why Myself and my friends back in the day, we could not stand. Look, Brie is the more comparable one. She is the one that can actually put on a decent match and not stink up the joint. The wrong Bella was in this match as far as I'm concerned. I'd be going on and on and on. But this was definitely the worst match of the night. Really should have been left off the card. Now, we got a little bit of a redeeming factor with our next matchup. The Donnybrook match. Sheamus taking on Rusev. Rusev defeating Sheamus. 20 minutes, 8 seconds. Beautiful redemption arc. Hell of a damn good match. Hell of a damn good match. Not surprised at all because with what we've been seeing from Rusev and Sheamus over the past several weeks on television, and then to hear that, these guys are going to be getting it on in this style type of fight on the PLE. I mean, these guys just look like they were right at home, beating the ever living shit out of each other, bringing great energy, feeding into the energy of the crowd. Fun kind of violence, physical violence, all throughout this. I love this. I love this. This was actually good. It's really good street fight type of vibe. I like how this had played out. This was probably one of the best encounters yet between these guys. Loved it. Great effort by both men. I can't sing nothing but enough praises for both of them. Honestly, you can give me a whole hour of these guys just beating the shit out of each other like they've been doing, and I will eat it up. I'm not tired of this. Seriously, I am not tired of this. Keep giving it to me. I love it. I love it. By the way, kudos to Adam Pearce and the way they had booked his segment when he crossed paths with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. As he was so disgusted by these guys, sweating bullets too. I mean, literally, he's got sweat just all over his head, beaming down his forehead, all that. He tells these guys that not only are they banned from ringside, but that if they even remotely somehow even like trigger a whiff from Adam Pearce's nose, they will be suspended indefinitely and without pay. Now, Jey Uso, he did try to get in there and help out his fam in Roman Reigns. And the B boys, the double B boys, they made him pay for that effort. So that was a telling tale right there as far as how was Jey Uso going to be holding up in that main event match. So you kind of had to have that in the back of you all's head. Moving on, John Cena versus Logan Paul. Cena defeating Logan Paul 26 minutes, 20 seconds. Second favorite match of the night. A little bit slow. They kind of spent a little bit too long in one gear before they finally switched it to the next one. I love seeing Logan on full display here, really working the crowd. It's all part of his gimmick, and I mean, honestly, naturally, people just hate this dude. They just hate this dude, and so he's able to lean into that extremely and excessively well, and he maximized the hell out of that on full display here. I felt there was maybe a little bit of overkill on the false finishes, but putting that to the side, John Cena showed right here, just from an offensive standpoint, that he can still go, despite the fact that he has not wrestled a full-time schedule in many, many years, and despite the fact that this guy at this point is only wrestling like Jesus, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's doing like about, I don't know, man. Maybe he's doing like about Jesus. I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe he's doing about. Obviously, he slowed down, right? I mean, he has slowed down big time when it's all said and done. But he's still that classic John Cena that we remember, right? Even though he's gotten a little bit slower, he's still the John Cena that we remember. So, I mean, Cena really did no wrong for me in this match personally, but man, I love this match on so many levels. This was the shit, man. Seriously, this was the shit. I love this on so many levels. Meanwhile, going back to Logan Paul and everything, I can't do nothing but continue to sing the praises of Logan Paul. When it's all said and done, Logan Paul definitely is the future of WWE, whether some people like it or not. This guy is going to continue and that's what amazes me so much in regards to Logan Paul. And it didn't really dawn on me until one of his more recent promos that he had with John Cena. Matter of fact, if it wasn't last week, it was the week before, where he says, look, I've been at this now for 4 years. And you guys, the WWE fans, you still don't give me my respected props. You know, you still don't freaking, give me my respect and everything. And man, I hear that and I go, wait a minute, that much time has gone by. Like literally, not to make it be about me because it's not about me, but it's just amazing. My whole point of saying that is how much time flies by. Like, for example, when me and my wife, when we were eating dinner, as part of my proper send off and everything to transfer into the 4 year college starting off Tuesday, I I said our best friend Tasha, she says to us, "How long have y'all been together now? Like just grand total?" And Tams was like 15 years. And like, wait, what? I'm still thinking it's like, oh, year six, year seven. It's like it's been 15 years. And I had to really stop and think about that because that was like, wait a minute, like as far as relationships goes, friends and all that, like there's been a lot of bumps and hits and misses, but like this has been that consistent. This has thrived through so much bullshit. Like, whoa. So linking that back to Logan Paul, you're like, wait a minute, it's already been 4 years? Going on 5 years since Logan Paul has been in the WWE. Goddamn, time flies. And it's kind of one of those, wait a minute, am I really slowing down here and really appreciating what all's been playing out before me? That's my whole message in regards to Logan Paul. Like, I know there's a lot of people that really don't like this guy and everything. And he's naturally doing his job. He is naturally doing his job. But I really hope that more people take a step back and truly appreciate the work that he's putting in because it's something that it's very rare. It's very rare to see somebody this universally gifted that just understands it and is definitely showing the ultimate respect towards the business and all that. Appreciate the ride because it's kind of like a once in a lifetime type of event that you see, man. It really, really is. Appreciate those of you that's tuning in via what we got X and Facebook and all that good stuff. Got a decent amount of you guys that's checking out the stream. Appreciate that. Especially in this day and age where we got like a lot of competition that's going on and everything. Appreciate that. Let's keep rocking and rolling and go to our next. See, I'm just thinking here. Yeah, we can go to our next matchup now, which is the main event match, World Heavyweight Championship match, Fatal 4-Way. Seth Rollins defending against CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight. CM Punk continues to be the Susan Lucci of the WWE. It's very unfortunate here. Seth Rollins retaining the championship, 24 minutes and 50 seconds. Uh Predictable. Honestly, what was the dead giveaway for me was seeing Jey Uso get jumped. It made sense that he would ultimately come out and try to save Roman Reigns and all that. I mean, it made a lot of sense. But at the same time, I mean, I never felt the match was going to be bad. Don't get me wrong, people. I didn't think the match was going to be bad, but just the outcome, it did seem pretty predictable within reason because you're going, okay, Jey Uso's going to be hurt. So there's your precursor right there. But the real question was, as a result of Jey Uso being hurt, was that going to be enough to have Jay be the one to somehow eat the pin or the defeat in this matchup? Or was it going to somehow go a different route? And we did get a little bit of a different route to by WWE standards. I will definitely give them credit to that and everything. Let's pick it up towards the end here. Really set up the picture for you guys. So back inside the ring, Jay goes up, trying to look for a flying headbutt or flying. Maybe he's looking for the snuck a splash. Who knows? But Rollins lands in with a super kick. But Jay somehow manages to come right back, return one of his own. Rollins counters a spear with a pedigree that gets him a near fall. Now Rollins goes up to the top. Once again, he misses his trademark Phoenix splash. Jay then connects with a series of super kicks and a spear. Jay going up top, splash connects, but we got CM Punk breaking up the pin, setting things up with that diving elbow. Punk signaling for the go to sleep on Jey Uso, but Rollins stomps Punk to break up the pin. Punk kicks out at 2 as Rollins tried going for a pin after that curb stomp. From there, Rollins with the trash talk to Punk. Then Rollins proceeds to grab a chair. He stomps on Jay, who's on the floor. Gives one to Knight as well, then heads over back to CM Punk, doing a really good job keeping all three men separated, kind of almost in their respective corners, right? Okay, best way to do that, best way to set it up and everything. Chair is set up in the ring. Rollins puts Punk's head on it, then goes for the stomp, but Punk manages to move just in time. Punk connects with a go to sleep on Rollins, tries to get ready to set up a second one when a individual in a hoodie hits CM Punk with a low blow. Who is that Max person in a hoodie, yo? Well, that would be none other than Becky Lynch. Yes, it was revealed to be Becky Lynch. Now, if there is ever a time to hate somebody, this is it. This is it. This is now that point. Becky Lynch coming to her man's aid, saving that championship there as Rollins connects with a stomp on Punk onto the chairs and all that, retains the championship that way. So if you maybe want to look at this and you want to say officially that Becky Lynch has now joined the Vision, well, look, she's always been that unsung behind the shadows member, has she not? I mean, you go back to some of those promos and we've heard Seth Rollins name drop her. We've heard Becky Lynch name drop him. So I appreciate by WWE that these characters are acknowledging one another and everything. I appreciate that because not for nothing, but with the Vince McMahon old format, there would be no kind of acknowledgement like that whatsoever. I mean, when you really stop and think about it. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. Not funny, but the Easter egg plants has always been there. So it really feels very natural the way that Becky Lynch just ultimately showed up here and everything. So, and I would imagine that this is going to add a lot of fuel, a lot of speculation as far as, well, what does this mean as far as AJ Mendez? Does this mean AJ Mendez is ultimately going to be returning to the WWE and she's going to be helping out there with CM Punk? I would imagine that's going to add a lot to the discussion. We'll dive more into that on the Monday show and everything. Post match, Becky Lynch celebrating with her husband. I mean, that's pretty much how the show wraps up and everything. So this feels a lot better than what we saw last go round with Seth and Becky Lynch when they were on TV weekly. Although I will admit, and I still feel to this day, that when they had crossed paths with Baron Corbin and, oh man, I used to call that woman Foghorn Leghorn because of her Southern Belle gimmick. I can't think of her. Lacey Evans, I think was her name. When I think about that period there that led up to both the women's championship and the world heavyweight championship being up for grabs in an intergender tag team match, and it just seemed like Baron Corbin finally had the hot streak going, all that, and they sadly did not pull the trigger on him and everything. But that's when finally Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins started really connecting on screen as a couple and everything. And just when you thought maybe something was going to further develop from what we were seeing, they pretty much split up soon after that. But this go round, this one, feels like meticulously, and credit to both of them where it's due, because they definitely have said in numerous interviews when looking back on that particular period, I felt kind of forced. If they could, you know, change some things and all that, and rightfully so, but it feels like this go round they've learned from those mistakes. Booking has learned from those mistakes, and it feels like they're doing it right when it's all said and done. All right, so as far as a overall rating for this PLE, this last PLE, commitment to the Mighty Peacock. Although I know a lot of you guys are gonna want to be quick to keep your Peacock, or actually get rid of your Peacock. You actually want to keep it. You want to at least keep it until you get to John Cena's final match, final appearance, and all that for that Saturday night main event that's going to be happening in December. You want to at least hold on to it that long, and then maybe explore some other options, right? Because honestly, if you were to say to me, Lee, I just don't really see the purpose in keeping Saturday night's main event, keeping Peacock just so I can watch Saturday night's main event, because it feels like I'm not really going to be missing out on anything. I can just wait for the clips to be posted on social media. I would say to you, hey, you got the right mindset, because WWE is constantly feeding that beast, right? But, and it's kind of predictable too, because you don't have a title, even a lower tier title, change hands usually. So if they would start switching things up and start making Saturday night's main event be a can't miss, because you just don't know what the hell's going to happen. Who knows? I mean, especially now that it's going to be an exclusive Peacock event, now they don't have to worry about time restraints. They can now go as long as they want. This also means that John Cena's not going to be rushed off the air. He's not going to get a Goldberg. Look, first of all, he's John Cena. Not that a Goldberg situation would ever happen to begin with, but you get the point that I'm making and everything. Putting a nice, pretty little ribbon around this event. Really, for me, this was a two-match show. Definitely Cena versus Logan Paul. Actually, you know what? I'd be willing to go three matches even. Cena versus Logan Paul, damn good. I don't care what anybody says. Bronson Reed, Roman Reigns, that was damn good. Sheamus versus Rusev, that was pretty damn good as well. The rest of it was, like I said, get rid of the Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch stuff. Really don't care for that. At least you made some further progression with the tag team titles over on the SmackDown side of things. Continuing storyline development there with Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. So, I mean, that's good. Wyatt 6 continuing to stay busy. All that is good. Becky Lynch now thrown into the mix. Uh, Braun Breaker letting it be known to Roman Reigns while he was fucking him up. Yo, it's not it's not all about you anymore. It's my time, right? Letting Roman Reigns know I will fucking die for this. I mean, he went straight up gangster on Roman Reigns. So the eventual battle of the spears between these two guys, oh man, I can't wait to see Roman and Breaker getting it down here. Really, really, I can't. Uh Seth Rollins still coming out of this as the world heavyweight champion and everything. I'm wondering what the long-term storytelling is right here. Are we eventually setting up Rollins for Braun Breaker? Kind of similar to what happened in the Evolution days, where eventually Triple H kind of realized he couldn't contain Dave Batista much longer and tried to do everything he could to kind of sabotage that and have Batista under his thumb, but Batista eventually breaking away. Is that eventually where we're kind of going to go here? Because I got to say to you guys, as far as a 2026 Royal Rumble winner, if Braun Breaker continues this trajectory that he is on for the rest of this calendar year, going into first quarter of next year, then yeah, as far as who could win the Rumble, go on the main event WrestleMania, I could definitely see Braun Breaker being that guy, taking on Seth Rollins one of those nights, WrestleMania, for that World Heavyweight Championship. I could definitely see that. Unless WWE is maybe thinking something along the lines of long-term storytelling and maybe they want to make it full circle and come back to Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. A lot of rich history right there. WWE's got some options, but I really am getting the impression here that they are definitely eyeing the hell out of Braun Breaker for a big, big breakout year in 2026. So sound off. You guys let me know what you all think. What you all think about that idea and everything. But most favorite match, least favorite match, least favorite match. I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, hands down. Most favorite match. Most favorite match. It's a toss-up. It's between the Rusev and Sheamus and Roman and Bronson. I gotta lean more heavily with, Bronson and Roman was good, but man, Rusev and Sheamus really brought the quality there. They really, really did. Really took it up to another level. You know what? Let's bring it up again tomorrow. But the way I'm feeling right now, I gotta lean more towards Rusev and Sheamus, believe it or not. I gotta lean a little bit more towards that. So let's see what you guys had to say on our interactive poll. Yo, man, we've been doing this since 2011. I can't stress it enough. I love each and every single one of you guys. Seriously, you guys fucking rock. You guys been rocking with me this long, and I appreciate it. I don't know how things are going to be looking with this new class schedule and when it goes into effect, man. I just need you guys have some patience. We're going to continue to pump out the content for you guys. I'm going to do my very best, even if we got to reshuffle some things. Just have patience with your man. I'm looking at the interactive poll right now, and so far, 25% of you are giving WWE Clash in Paris a thumbs down. Top dog right now, 75% of you are saying thumbs up for the event. Yeah, I definitely would agree with that when it's all said and done. I definitely would agree with that. Let's see if we can find some interactions here. Let's see if we can scroll through here, see what some of you guys had to say about Clash before we get ready to wrap it up. Otherwise, I will definitely stick a fork in this bad boy. This is a nice little short joint that we did here, man. We went about almost 50 minutes right here. Let's see here. God, don't remind me of some of the spots that was going on too with Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch. I mean, for the record, I definitely want to stress this. For the record, Becky Lynch, there were some parts. I'm a Becky Lynch fan, but I've had my criticism. I definitely got to share some criticism. Nikki was definitely bad in this, but Becky Lynch does need to take some responsibility as well. Not everything that she did in this match was on point as well. I know that we're in this day and age now where, oh, well, I know where the cameraman is going to be, so I'm going to be protected if, say for instance, I get put through this headbutting situation, or I'm going to get these 10 punches, or this is going to happen. It's okay because I'm going to be protected from a particular angle. Not so fast, because your technical director, whoever that is in the hot seat there, they may not switch at the right time. And, we see you catching nothing but air when it comes to those punches and all that. So, yeah, let's see here. Trying to go through some. How about that? Now that we got this match out the way for Cena, I mean, I think we are now officially in the single digits when it's all said and done. We're now in the single digits. So, I mean, before you know it, December is going to be here. I was telling a buddy of mine the other day, I say, can you believe that it's gotten kind of frigid already? Like, I'm now finding myself to be without the AC. I BS you. I'm now not pushing the AC because it's been chilly in the evening. Later it gets, it's been getting even more chilly. By the way, shout out to the Clash in Paris attendance, which sat at over 30,343. Some people are very quick to point out, yo, that's like twice the size of Forbidden Door. Like, hey, I hear you. I hear you. Shout out to Abu, who says from start to finish, Clash in Paris surprised them in the best way. No filler, just awesome matches with decent time given. Overall, a really enjoyable show with an unpredictable ending. 8 out of 10 for him, and he's looking forward to WrestlePalooza. Meanwhile, Khalid says that WWE Clash was really fun. The French bring it once again with electrifying energy, and matches range from decent to amazing all night. Show was a little too long, but overall pretty solid stuff. He's giving it a 8 out of 10. Meanwhile, Josh gave the Fatal-4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship 3.5 stars out of 5. For Logan Paul versus John Cena, 4 stars. Sheamus versus Rusev, 4 stars. Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch, 2 stars. Tag match for the tag titles, 3.25. Bronson Reed, Roman Reigns, 3 stars. And overall rating for Clash in Paris, 3.75 out of 5. So not too shabby there. Shout out to the good folks over at WrestleTix that had made a notation about WWE Clash, mentioning the fact that at the time of their posting, there was 460 tickets available, mentioning the current setup being at 31,128 total tickets distributed, 30,668. And Dave Meltzer, as some of you guys may recall, he was saying he just did not see this being a successful event. And with everything that WWE has crushed here with this Clash event, pretty good. Pretty good. All right, let's see. Go through a couple of more ratings and reviews here for you guys before we get ready to call it here. Shout out to Russell Republic, who notes that particularly the John Cena versus Logan Paul match, giving it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. Yeah, definitely. I love that match. Love it. A lot of love for the John Cena Logan Paul match. AN77 is giving this show a 9.5 out of 10, saying it was excellent from top to bottom. Good evening in Paris there. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Shout out to Mosh. Roman versus Bronson, 6.5 out of 10. Street Profits versus Wyatt's, 3 out of 10. I don't know about 3 out of 10. If you maybe want to go, 5 out of 10, you at least want to go halfway and say, I appreciate the effort, but 3 out of 10, damn, that's kind of harsh. Nikki Bella versus Lynch, 2 out of 10. See, I always like to at least do a halfway point, but damn. The Donnybrook match, 7.5 out of 10. Okay. Cena versus Logan, 2 out of 10. Damn. Really, dude? Rollins versus Punk versus Knight versus Uso, 0 out of 10. Overall, 2.5 out of 10. Worst PLE ever. Not a single match touches. Oh, well, see, this is how this dude is disqualified. So it's obvious, he is a hardcore AEW fan, because he says worst PLE ever. Not a single match touches QT Marshall's match on Friday. I did watch that match, by the way. I did watch that. I have a lot to say in regards to that, but we'll hold that for the Monday show. Meanwhile, Jog gave Roman versus Bronson 3.75 out of 5. Okay. Wyatt 6 Profits, 2.75 out of 5. Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, 2.5 out of 5. Rusev, Sheamus, 4.25 out of 5. Cena, Logan, 4.5 out of 5. Fatal-4-Way, 2 out of 5. Appreciate that. Let's go through a couple more here. So you guys, you're going a little bit all over the place. You're getting a little good, a little bad, all of that. Shout out to Gio. Overall, Clash in Paris wasn't great. The whole Roman match was okay at best. The tag match was really slow with those two teams. Sheamus, Rusev was fun. Becky, Bella match was terrible. Cena match was shockingly phenomenal, and the main event was a big swing and a miss. Yeah. Shout out to Jeremy. Overall, he's giving Clash a 5.3 out of 10. Best match for them was the World Heavyweight Championship match. Worst match was the women's Intercontinental match. Crowd rated them incredible. Stage, fantastic. Was a pretty good stage, by the way. Was a pretty good stage. Let's see. Wishes that the card had AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, you know what? If we could have put that in place of Becky and Nikki. I'd have been down with that. I'd have been down with that. Stephanie Vakir versus Io or even Tiffany. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. AD, I give Clash in Paris 7.5 out of 10 because it was a great show. Only match I didn't like was Nikki versus Becky. Besides that, the other matches were great. Right. Colin, well, the last WWE PLE I'll see was a dud and waste of time. Plus, Seth proved he needed someone's help to win, proving he still lies, needs to hire someone for wardrobe, and needs a cough drop. Clash in Paris, 1 out of 5 stars. Terrible booking from Triple H. Good God, Savage Beast. Let's go through like three more tops. Leo. Clash in Paris was truly a great PLE from WWE. 4 stars for Roman versus Bronson. Wyatt 6 versus Profits. Looks like he's going 3.75 out of 5. Becky versus Nikki, 3.5 out of 5. Sheamus versus Rusev, 4.25 out of so 4.25 out of 5. Cena versus Logan Paul, 4.75 out of 5, and the Fatal-4-Way World Title, 3.75 out of 5. Ending was a bit disappointing. Overall, he's giving it, or they are giving it, a 8.5 out of 10. All right, go through two more here. Two more here for you guys. Let's see. Y'all are bringing it, though. Y'all are bringing it, though. I definitely got to give you guys props. Y'all are bringing it. Let's see. Modern Apples. Roman Bronson, 3.5 out of 5. Wyatt's Profits, 4.25 out of 5. Nikki, Becky, 2.25 out of 5. Sheamus, Rusev, 4.5 out of 5. Cena, Logan, 5 out of 5. Fatal-4-Way, 3.5 out of 5. Overall for the show, 3.75 out of 5. Kind of fair. And last but not least, shout out to AIW, who notes that this could be revised at a later date, but Roman versus Bronson, 4 stars. Wyatt 6 versus Profits, 3 stars. Nikki versus Becky, 2 stars. Sheamus versus Rusev, 4.75 out of 5. Cena versus Logan, 4.75 out of 5. And the main event, Fatal-4-Way, 4 out of 5. Mentions that they really dug the show. Easily a top 4 PLE of 2025. So that is where things stand on that one. So keep the comments and all that coming in, man. Let me know what you had thought about this PLE event. But I think overall we can definitely, just based on what folks had to say so far, just that little snippet of a shot. It seems like we all are in that same wavelength there of what we all felt about the matches overall and all that. So, I love it when weekends like this, nights like this, we all are almost of one mind here when it comes to that. Hey, I definitely want to take this time out and thank the many of our sponsors. We've been so fortunate enough to partner up with a decent amount of good folks over the past couple of weeks, because honestly, without them, content like what you're checking out right now would not be made possible. I want to give a shout out to one of our longtime friends of the show in justmovieposters.com. If you're looking to bring Hollywood magic into your home or office At justmovieposters.com, you'll find an incredible selection of authentic movie posters from classics, cult favorites, blockbusters, and hard-to-find titles. Whether you're a serious collector or just want to decorate with a cinematic style, their high-quality posters make the perfect gift or centerpiece. Explore posters from every genre that includes action, comedy, drama, sci-fi, horror. They got so much more, all at affordable prices. Great affordable prices at that. Check them out, justmovieposters.com. We are also brought to you in part by Crazy About Keto. Learn more by visiting tinyurl.com/crazy about keto. That's crazy with a K instead of the C. Crazy About Keto is offering a premium 41-page beginner's guide. It's a $30 value, completely free, to help kickstart your keto journey. Perfect for anyone curious about low-carb living and wanting to learn the basics fast. Also brought to you in part by Blue Medical Diagnostics. Learn more by visiting bluesmedical.com. Trusted DNA testing and immigration consulting. Blues Medical Diagnostics, where you can get clarity and peace of mind. A trusted provider of DNA testing and immigration consulting services for families nationwide. When accuracy and reliability matter most, choose a partner you can depend on. bluesmedical.com. And last but not least, we are brought to you in part by our friends over at the IME iRadio station, streaming 24/7. All you got to do is just tune in, vibe out, man, because they are your global soundtrack featuring the hottest indie artists of the 90s to 2000s. You get to check out throwbacks mixed in with today's top 40 hits. Think of it as a world tour for your ears, delivering some crowd favorites, some hidden gems, all from across the United States, Europe, Canada. Discover what your next favorite track might be. Check them out, streaming 24/7, IME iRadio station. We love all of these guys. Appreciate them. Shout out to you, our listeners, longtime listeners, longtime supporters. Shout out to our Patreon backers as well. Everyone that's been checking out the show on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Spreaker, and beyond. You really keep the RCWR show going. Next up, Monday Night Raw. I know it's Labor Day, but hey, we're going to keep on rocking. Unless something big, major goes down, we should be just in and out. All we're going to mainly be talking about is Raw. So unless you guys got like a wrestling related kind of question you want to throw in there, that should be an easy 45 minutes to an hour at most. So make sure you tune in for that one. And in the meantime, be kind, rewind, check out previous episode you might have missed on demand and on the downloads. Like I said at the top, we did a really solid edition of Wrestling with the Topics. We went like all over the place on that show, man. Me and Tams tackled the U.S. controversy, the U.S. Open controversy that happened. We also talked about the Minneapolis shooting that happened recently. We also previewed the Eagles and Chiefs, gave our thoughts on what's happening with their current schedule for the next 18 weeks and sound off on whether or not we thought they were going to repeat for this year's Super Bowl. A lot of fun little topics that we dove into on that show. So if you haven't checked that out yet, definitely you owe it to yourselves. Picking on back, scoop that up when you guys get a minute. Get at me all throughout social media using the keywords, the RCWR show. And until next go round, my pretty babies, show the YouTube channel some love. We've been blowing it up with the foodie reviews and everything. So if you haven't been showing the YouTube channel some love, definitely subscribe, all that jazz. Until next go round, wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios, y'all. Take care.